So children, this is third video of chapter 3, the changing phase of the earth. In the previous videos we were studying about the endogenous forces. We have studied the theory of plate tectonics and about convergent and divergent plates. We had also studied the forces of mountain building and saw how the fold mountains and block mountains are formed. Now, in this video, we will study the other two endogenous forces, that is, earthquakes and volcanoes. So, first of all, let us study about earthquakes. We all have heard about earthquakes. In simple words, we can say that vibrations in the earth are known as earthquakes. Now, earthquakes occur when tectonic plates move against each other. Earthquakes are caused by disturbances that originate inside the earth. We know that there is a continuous movement beneath the earth's surface, but earthquakes occur when these movements become intense. Now let us understand few good terms. Number 1 is seismic focus. What is seismic focus? The point where the disturbance originate in the interior of the earth is known as seismic focus. It is shown here. Then number 2 is epicenter. What is epicenter? So the point just perpendicular to the seismic focus on the surface of the earth is called epicenter. It is here. It is shown here. We can also say that the point just above the seismic focus which lies on the surface of the earth is called epicenter. It is to be noted that the place which is closer to the epicenter gets the greater damage, as seismic waves are strongest and most intense near the epicenter. The seismic waves weaken as they move away from the epicenter, so the farther a place is from the epicenter, the less is the damage. Now there are two types of seismic waves. They are surface waves and body waves. Body waves are further divided into primary waves and secondary waves. In short, primary waves are also known as P waves and secondary waves are also known as S waves. Primary waves travel faster, but secondary and surface waves are much more destructive. Children, you know that earthquakes cannot be predicted. In case we are able to predict the earthquakes, huge destruction could be controlled. But we can reduce the impact of earthquake if people are well prepared. Now let us know what is seismograph. So seismograph is an instrument that measures seismic waves. Just now we have read about seismic focus and seismic waves. So seismograph is an instrument that detects and records the intensity of earthquake waves. Now, the magnitude or the severity of an earthquake is indicated by a number on Richter scale. That means that Richter scale measures the magnitude or severity of an earthquake. If the number on Richter scale is below 4, it is considered as mild tremor. Tremor means a slight earthquake. If the number on Richter scale is between 4 to 6, it is considered as moderate tremor. This type of tremor is not destructive. In this, buildings shake and things fall down. But if the number on Richter scale is more than 6, it is considered as a severe earthquake and it is disastrous. Children, you know that earthquakes are one of the worst natural disasters. It causes great loss of life and material. The earthquakes under the sea can even cause tsunamis. So let us now read about a case study of the Sichuan earthquake in China, which was held in 2008. So, an earthquake measuring 8.3 on the Richter scale hit the Sichuan region of China in May 2008. 8.3, which is much above 6. That means it was very high intense earthquake. So the earthquake was felt as far away as Beijing 1500 kilometers away and Shanghai, that is 1700 kilometers away, where the office buildings swayed with the tremor. Around 70,000 people lost their lives and 4.8 million people were left homeless. The earthquake was apparently the result of displacement of up to 9 meter along the 240 long mentioned fault. Roads were blocked and some were just torn away. Several barrier lakes were formed when rivers were plugged by landslides triggered by the quake. Such barrier lakes can burst their walls anytime and cause devastating floods. Millions of people had to rescued from the affected areas, survivors had to be cared for, and temporary shelter, food, and medical aid had to be provided. Now, the endogenous forces of the earth also results in the formation of volcanoes. So now let us study about volcanoes. So first of all, what is a volcano? Volcanoes are opening in the earth's crust through which molten rocks and gases erupt. So the openings of the volcanoes are also known as vent. VENT, vent, and erupt means to come out suddenly. The activity or phenomenon of volcanoes are known as volcanism. Volcanism releases magma. As we know that magma is molten rock from the mantle that comes out through the cracks. Magma that spills onto the surface of the earth is called lava. So during volcanism, volcanic lava, gases, ashes and fragmented materials are ejected into the atmosphere. Now let us understand the whole structure of a volcano with the help of this diagram. So in the structure of a volcano, at the bottom there is a pool of magma which is located deep inside the earth and it is known as magma chamber. It is here. This magma chamber is connected by a pipe or channel to the volcanic welt. This looks like a pipe, or we can say it looks like a channel, and this is the volcanic vent, vent, vent. In the course of time, lava forms a cone or mountain around the vent. This mountain is known as volcanic mountain. See, you can see here this cone or the mountain is known as volcanic mountain. This mountain has layers of alternating ash and lava. The opening at the top of the mountain is called crater. So this is the crater here. Now volcanoes are of three types. There are active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes and extinct volcanoes. So let us study about each type of volcanoes one by one. First of all, let us study about active volcanoes. Active volcanoes are the name given to those volcanoes that have erupted recently. Significant examples of active volcanoes are Mount Etna and Mount Santorini of the Mediterranean Sea. Second type of volcanoes are dormant volcanoes. Volcanoes that are quiet for a long time but they shows sign that they could erupt again are known as dormant volcanoes. The vent or opening of dormant volcano is often blocked with a plug of solidified lava. But when dormant volcanoes erupt, they erupt violently. One of the significant example of dormant volcanoes are Mount Vesuvius. Then the third type of volcanoes are extinct volcanoes. Volcanoes that show no indication of future eruptions are known as extinct volcanoes. The crater or the opening at the top of the mountain fill with water to form lakes known as calderas. However, no volcano can be called extinct with complete certainty. Volcanoes are found mainly around the Pacific Ocean in a circular route called the Pacific Ring of Fire. India's only volcano is on Barren Island in the Andamans. It is erupted last in 2006. The map of the volcanoes is given on page number 23 of our books. In this map, all the triangles represent the volcanoes, and the volcanoes around the Pacific Ocean. Here it is the Pacific Ocean. So the volcanoes around the Pacific Ocean in a circular route are known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. It is written here, Pacific Ring of Fire. So, this was all about the endogenous forces of the earth, or the forces that arise from inside the earth. This is all for today's video. In the next video, we will study about the exogenous forces of the earth.